Spa is easily one of the most famous circuits thanks to its incredibly challenging track layout and history within motorsport. In Assetto Corsa Competizione, this is a track which is very difficult to truly master thanks to its wide variety and sheer number of corners. In this ACC track guide, I'm going to show you a complete lap of the Spa circuit using the Ferrari 296 GT3. I'll slow down the lap to highlight the best racing line and braking points, as well as showing you both throttle and brake traces. You'll see both of those inputs in the bottom right corner, and they're provided by Track Titan, which is an all-in-one telemetry and coaching platform, but a little bit more about that later on. For now, let's jump into a complete lap breakdown of Spa in the Ferrari 296. Turn 1 is the slow right-hander of La Source, which is a crucial corner to get right. It sets up the long run down to Eau Rouge, so getting a good exit will lead to the best possible start to the lap. Approach with your car on the far left of the circuit and keep an eye on that 100-metre braking board. You'll want to apply your brakes just before you pass this at around 110-120 metres. Brake at full pressure until you reach the 50-metre board, at which point you'll want to start turning in towards the apex. Aim to be in second gear as you start turning and first gear at the apex. Trail off the brakes as you apply more steering lock, and try to position your car closer to the apex curb where there is a slight dip, and this dip will naturally help your car rotate around the corner. You can use the exit curb, but avoid the large yellow curbing as you accelerate down the hill. Follow the curve to the right and ensure your car is as close to the right hand wall as possible before reaching Eau Rouge and Rédillon. You may be inclined to lift off the throttle here, but don't. This sequence can be taken at full throttle with a bit of careful car placement. First, sweep across the track and cut the left hand curb before immediately turning hard right. Avoid the right hand curb as this can throw your car off balance, and then just as you crest the hill, straighten your steering and cut the left hand curb pretty aggressively, also while applying the tiniest bit of left hand steering. You want this to all be one smooth motion of the steering wheel from left to right and back to left again to avoid any disturbances in your car's balance. The run down the Kemmel straight is a long one before you reach Les Combes. This is one of the best overtaking spots around the whole lap, so try and be aggressive here if needed. As you approach turn 5, keep your car on the left of the circuit and always watch for the start of the curb, which is right around the 100 metre mark. Apply full brake pressure and start turning towards the apex really early. Trail off the brakes as you cross the track, aiming for second gear at the apex while riding up and over the inside curb. You should be off the brakes entirely as you crest the apex, and you can give a squirt of throttle before the next left-hander if you like. Lift off the throttle as you reach the corner and cut this apex even more aggressively than the previous one. Pull the car to the left of the track before lifting off the throttle briefly and throwing your car into turn 7. You won't need any brake input at all here, but just aim to slightly miss the inside curb while accelerating through the corner, as there is a wide runoff area which you should utilise as much as you need. Turn 8 is possibly the trickiest corner at Spa, as it's so easy to lose lap time. Brake right at the start of the left hand curb and immediately turn towards the right of the track for a really early apex. As you reach the curb, start to release the brakes while aggressively downshifting to second gear. You should let your car naturally run out wide mid-corner before tightening and straightening your line on the exit. This corner does seem to go on forever, but try to be cautious with your throttle input, as going too wide will cost you lap time. With your car straight, drift over to the right of the track and just before reaching the curb, turn left into turn 9. You'll want a short stab at the brakes while turning, but stay in third gear. Try to apply the throttle before you reach the apex curb, which you will want to hop over, and focus on keeping your car on track at the exit. There is a longish run down to turn 10, which you can spend ensuring your car is on the right of the circuit. This corner is tricky, so give it your full attention and a lot of respect on the entry. Apply a stab of brake pressure around halfway along that right hand curb and manage your brake pressure all the way to the first apex. Roll your car through turn 10, but under all circumstances do not touch that inside curb. Your speed will carry you out to the right of the circuit where you can start accelerating through the rest of the corner. Keep left hand steering lock applied and maintain smooth inputs as you accelerate over to the left of the track through turn 11, and once again use the exit curb on the right. Move over to the left before turn 12 and brake just before travelling under the sponsorship sign. Downshift to second gear while trail braking into the apex, and you can use a little bit of curb if needed, and then accelerate towards the next left-hander. Lift off the throttle just after turning the steering hard left, and roll through the apex before applying the throttle once again. Use a lot of the exit curb and again move your car immediately to the left ahead of turn 14. Stavolo is a fast double right-hander, and once again use the start of the left-hand curb as your braking point. Much like the previous sequence, downshift to second, and trail brake into the apex, accelerate through the corner, and be careful of just how much exit curb you use, as it's so easy to dip a tyre into the gravel and lose a lot of time. Keep the throttle planted out of the corner and all the way through the fast right-hander, and you can use a lot of exit curb once again, but just be a little bit wary of your car becoming unbalanced. Straightening your steering and accelerating fast is key, as the next sequence is a full throttle, extremely long run down to the final chicane. Much like the Kemmel straight, you can gain or lose so much lap time based on how well you exited the previous corner. And all that's left is to follow the path of least resistance through here until you reach the chicane. As you do approach that final chicane, move over to the centre of the circuit. This is the biggest braking zone around the entire lap, and there really aren't any brake markers. I tend to aim to start braking between the white track marking and the change in track surface colour. Brake hard in a straight line, downshift into first gear before starting to rotate your car. Turn hard into the right-hander, positioning your car around halfway over the inside curb, and then apply a burst of throttle and switch your steering immediately to the left. Get as close as you can to hitting the inside sausage curb without actually touching it, and then watch for the rear of your car as it will get loose on the exit as you accelerate towards the line. And that will round out a complete lap of Spa in Assetto Corsa Competizione in the Ferrari 296 GT3. This circuit remains one of my all-time favourite tracks, and I often use it as my go-to testing track while creating car setups alongside Imola. Now, I did mention the throttle and brake telemetry, which you have seen all the way through this track guide, and that is provided by Track Titan. Their platform is a data analysis and telemetry tool, which can be used with ACC, iRacing and other sim racing titles. This lets you compare your lap time to other drivers, and you can overlay their telemetry with your own to see where you're gaining or losing time. We've got a 50% discount code for Track Titan, which gives you a half-priced plus membership for 3 months. If you'd rather try Track Titan for free, you can use the same code to get unlimited lap telemetry for 30 days. That code is SIMRACINGSETUP, and just enter it at the checkout, and I'll also leave a link below to Track Titan. If you're after a recommended car setup for Spa in ACC, we have a range of car setup bundles for the most popular cars, including this Ferrari 296, the McLaren 720S Evo, Porsche 992, BMW M4, and a host of others, which again I'll leave links to in the description below, and all of those bundles include multiple car setups for Spa as well as other tracks. I'm now going to leave you with a complete hot lap of Spa, and until next time I will see you all on track.